Welcome back to GTD. We have so much baseball to cover. A lot happened. Mike is excited. That's him right there.
Yes.
I'm excited. This is me right here. We'll hold off on our highs and lows. I know you really are really excited to see what we have to talk about with our best and worst from last week. Because like I said, so much happened that we just have little quick hitters to cover. Out of the quick hitters we have listed, let's just list one off for me, Micah.
All right. I'm gonna let you talk about the Cubs first because they are raking right now. Got some great power going, and then Seiya Suzuki and PCA just seem to be addicted to batting runs in right now.
Yeah, kind of not a dynamic duo you pictured coming into the year, but one that has just been fun to watch. And I mean, they're Seiya Suzuki's first in the National League for RBIs, and PCA is second in the National League for RBIs at 49 and 48. So yeah, just a duo that we didn't know was going to happen coming into this year. Seiya, we kind of knew had the power to be that guy, but PCA is just it seems like he was struck by lightning and he's just here to stay. Everyone, when he first started hitting like this, was like, okay, well, this isn't sustainable. This isn't gonna get used to it because it's happening. He is the next superstar of the sport, or one of the many superstars of the sport. So be on the lookout for him. And then another way the Cubs have been kind of shown their offensive prowess, they're the only team with four different players that each have 11 plus home runs. Dansby Swanson, Kyle Tucker, Seiya, and PCA. Seiya and PCA both have 14, so not bad for that team on the north side. What else do you have to talk about, Micah?
Well, I want to talk about the Yankees and the Phillies because they are both red hot right now. The Yankees have not lost a series since the first weekend of May, and that was versus the Rays. It wasn't even a sweep. They lost it 2-1. Since then, they beat the Padres 2-1. They beat the A's 2-1, the Mariners 2-1, the Mets 2-1. They swept the Rangers and they took 2 of 3 from the Rockies, which losing one game to the Rockies is not great. But still, Yankees are red hot right now. They're 8-2 in their last 10. And if you check out the AL East standings, they are now 6 games ahead in that division because the Red Sox can't quite seem to find their footing. The Rays are just the Rays, and the Yankees are really starting to extend their lead in that division. And then the Phillies are 9-1 in their last 10. Don't look at the opponents. It's not important. If you're curious anyway, it's the Pirates, the Rockies, and the A's. So the Phillies are hot right now, but it's versus some pretty bad competition, and they are 2 games ahead of the Mets now. They've taken the division lead over the last week. Those teams are both on fire, and the inverse of them is the Orioles, who are just horrific.
Yeah, can't pitch, and then what you thought would be their strong suit, their young, highly aggressive offense, is kind of just not been what they're supposed to be. But that's going to happen with the young team. I think we talked about the Orioles a few weeks ago, and I just said they're going to have ups and downs, and it's not going to be week to week up and downs. With a team as young as the Orioles, with a team as young as the Orioles, though, it's going to be season ups and downs. Like you're going to have stints like this. Now, obviously, next year if they come out flat again, you have some issues, but this team's just very young, and you don't really have a guy in the clubhouse like a Justin Turner or just somebody who's maybe not the best player, but can really get you through a season, 162 games. It's got to be a hitter. It's got to be a hitter. You need a hitter in there to ignite it. And obviously with their manager kind of limbo they're in right now, that just adds to the cake. So not a good situation for the Orioles right now. Obviously, this season's probably – I'm not saying they're going to go sell off everybody at the deadline, but it's a wash.
Cedric Mullins, I think, is gone at the deadline.
Oh, yeah, they're definitely going to – oh, yeah, they're going to trade some of their pieces.
Ryan Mountcastle but as far as probably gone.
Their future core, I think, will stay. And then everyone else is kind of in limbo. Will be dished away. But we have next year, Orioles fans. The team's only going to get older and hopefully better. So look out for that. And then lastly, before we get to our highs and lows, the NL West is a juggernaut.
Bloodbath. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Dodgers sit at the top right now. They are 1 game ahead of the Giants, who are 1 game ahead of the Padres. 3 teams within 2 games at the top of the division. And this has given me 2021 Dodgers-Giants vibes, but you have 3 teams in it this time. All of these teams are absolutely incredible right now. We expected this from the Dodgers. You expected this from the Padres. I was worried about their pitching, but their pitching has massively exceeded expectations for me. And then the Giants have decided to just activate Giants voodoo like they do once every 3 or 4 years, and they are right there now. And if the Diamondbacks can figure out how to pitch literally even at all, they will be in this race in no time because that lineup is still one of the best in baseball.
Yeah. Who do you think? I I think I'm going to answer this question for you. Are the Giants your biggest surprise as far as this? I
Oh,
know you
for
touched on
sure.
the. Okay, yeah, I agree. But I think getting Jung Hoo Lee back is a huge thing for them, especially with the year he's put together, and just like some of the guys you didn't expect to be there, are just really contributing to this team. Obviously, Logan Webb is pretty much a win every time he pitches right now. So you have him going for you. But yeah, just this is going to be very fun to watch. And there's a good chance. I think they get 3 teams in the playoffs. There's a chance they get 4, depending on if the Braves want to, how hard the
Yeah.
Braves want to push. Now that Acuña's back, we'll see.
I think with the
But
Mets,
yeah,
it's going to be tough to get 4.
oh, I do too. But if there is a division that'll do it, it will be them in baseball this year. Maybe the AL Central, but we're not talking about them today because they've kind of cooled off a little bit from what they were, last week, 2 weeks ago.
And the AL
But you
West is
mentioned the
getting hot
Diamondbacks.
too. The Astros are on fire right now, and I mean the Rangers have fallen off a cliff, but the Astros are really making up ground right now.
Yeah, the AL West is just like the mediocrity little brother version of the NL West. Like these teams are
Yes.
elite, and these teams are just good enough to win that division. But you mentioned the Diamondbacks and how they've been struggling. That brings us to our highs and lows because, ladies and gentlemen, the Diamondbacks are my low. They've lost 5 in a row, but they've started to kind of struggle a little bit before that, and they play a lot of high scoring ball games. Like I'm not talking they beat their opponent 14-2 or 8-1 or whatever.
They
They
lose
play a
11
lot
to
of
9.
Yes, they play basketball, football. They don't play baseball. They play a lot of high scoring, back and forth, lead change games,
They play Big
which
Ten
is
West
not,
football.
yeah, and it's not a recipe for success in the current way baseball is played, especially getting into the playoffs. Um, I'm gonna point to Zach Gallen right now. He's in his contract year. He's in his walk year. He's 3-6 with a 5.25 ERA with the 1.36 whip. He just isn't the guy we kind of hoped he would be. He still goes like 6 innings on average a game, but okay, if you're not winning, you know, what is that deal? Like yes, you have a good offense, but you can't go out there and give up 6 runs every time and rely on your offense to get more than 6 runs, right? So
Yeah.
I think the pitching is the biggest factor for the Diamondbacks kind of sitting right now. We've seen this from Zach Gallen before. He has gone through stretches like this where he's bounced back and been great. Maybe that happens, and maybe he kind of when he does that can kind of motivate some other people in the clubhouse as far as the pitching staff goes to do that. But they're really going to need some help, I think, at the deadline to be in the hunt. And I think they will get. I think they will go out and seek help. Whether it'll work or not, who knows? But I think it's more so the pitching. Now the bats have cooled off a little bit. Maybe not Corbin Carroll, but some of the other guys who were like uh, um, Suarez, Eugenio Suarez, who was really contributing earlier in the year, not contributing a whole lot right now.
No, and they're really struggling. Although if the pitching can figure out, like you said, I think they still have a chance. Milo is the Oakland A's. And just a couple short weeks ago, the A's were in a playoff spot, and we were talking about, okay, they have a tough schedule coming up. We're going to see what the A's are made of. That schedule was 3 games versus the Mariners, 3 versus
Turns
the
out,
Yankees,
wet
3
paper.
versus the Dodgers, 3 versus the Giants, 4 versus the Angels, and 3 versus the Phillies. Over that stretch, they had a record of 4-15, and that included an 11-game losing streak. They're all the way back down to last in the AL West. 23-31. It has come crashing down hard for the not Oakland A's at this point in the season. And obviously, this is a team that I thought had an outside chance and even a decent chance to playoff spot because I put them in one, and they have fallen off a cliff. But let's go over to the high side now. What's your high of the week?
Yeah, that was depressing. So let's try to lighten the mood a little bit. I think every baseball fan's gonna love my high this week. We haven't talked
Yes.
about it yet, so you probably know one of us has it. Tariq Skubal, what an incredible performance from this guy. I'm going to go over his performance, and I'm just going to go over his season that he's kind of put together so far after winning the Cy Young last year.
Back to
But he had a
back?
13K. I don't know. The American League is going to be tough this year. But he had a
Yeah.
13K game, complete game shutout, and his last pitch was 102.7 miles an hour. Dominance
Fastest pitch
to
of
a
his career.
whole, yeah, dominance to a whole nother level, and just I don't know. I mean, that pitch at the end was probably just all adrenaline. It was probably just like, let's go, like, bang. But
Yeah,
that's sometimes what a pitcher needs. I mean, that really helps pitchers, the adrenaline and being able to stay in there. And just seeing a guy go 9 innings nowadays is fun in itself.
always
I don't
cool.
care if they do it throwing, 88 by the time they get there. As long as they're not getting hurt, throwing 9 innings is incredible. Now, his season. He is second in baseball with strikeouts. Only Mackenzie Gore has more strikeouts than him. He sits at 92 strikeouts to Gore's 93. So he's top of the American League in strikeouts. He's top 15 in ERA across all MLB. Just having another insane season. Something
What's his
you
whip
kind
at
of
right
with
now?
the young. His whip is 8.4.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I think actually that may be the lowest in the American League. Let me check real quick. It is not the lowest in the American League. It's second. Joe Ryan has a lower whip than him in the
I'm
American
telling
League.
you, I said it last
So
week. Joe Ryan is so underappreciated. That dude is nails.
yeah, but he's definitely top three across the board right now in the American League. Skubal is, and he's putting together an incredible second season this year after winning the Cy Young. So who knows what this kid's got in store? Hopefully, a lot of years and healthy years, because with pitching nowadays, especially when you're throwing that hard, it gets a little dicey sometimes. But what's your high?
Well, speaking of hopefully healthy, mine is Ronald Acuña Jr., who came back with a bang, hit a home run
Two
on
bangs.
his home run on the first pitch he saw back healthy, and then hit another one the next day. Has 2 home runs through a very small sample size, has an OPS of 1302, which is pretty decent through his few
Yeah.
games he's played as a Brave this season. And let me tell you, the Braves already look like a brand new team with him in the lineup. It's so clear that he is the missing piece for that team, and
Yeah.
they're making a charge right now. The Braves sit 8.5 games back now of the Phillies, only 4.5 games back of a wild card spot. And though they are 4-6 in their last 10, this is some of the best vibes I've seen from this team all year. They look happy to be playing baseball, which is not something you could say at the start of the year. So that is my high of the week. Do you have anything else before we get out of here for baseball?
I mean, it could use a spark plug, man. He gets in there and he ignites it. I mean, he's been their main guy. He's been their next Freddie Freeman. He's their superstar. Not only their superstar, he's one of the league superstars. He's the guy who's, if you look at the jerseys in the stands, 95% of them say Acuña on the back. I mean, he's their dude, and so it's great to see guys like that come back. Ohtani throwing batting practice now, maybe making a return to the mound this year. We'll have to see what's in store. I hope he doesn't rush it back just to be on the mound. I hope if he's not ready, he's not ready, and just kind of delays it till next year or whatever. But exciting things coming in the future of this sport this season, and I'm very, very, especially now that, I mean, mostly me, but also you. Your team's decent this year. They're not bad.
No, they're
So,
not. They're awful. We can't score. And then when we do, the bullpen just gives up.
But hey, in lighter news, the carjacker is back in Major League Baseball, and he hit 2 home runs in his first game as a Cub. I mean, Reese McGuire comes to the Cubs. He starts. He's not even supposed to start.
We got killed by Reese McGuire, dude. I'm gonna go to a parking lot.
I don't get it. This guy came up. He has 16 career home runs before that day. Hits 2 in his first game with the Cubs. Apparently, if you play catcher for the Cubs in your 2025, you're Barry Bonds. Like Carson Kelly, Miguel Amaya, and now Reese McGuire. As long as you get behind the dish, you can hit. I don't know what we've done in the offseason to curse our, to what potions we put on our catcher's gear, but they become Barry Bonds. And
That's weirdly been the case for us too. All our catchers except our normal one, Tyler Stevenson, Jose Trevino and Austin Wynns have been hitting insanely well this season. So maybe if you want to hit well, go be a catcher in the NL Central. But
catchers are back.
Yeah, catchers are back. But that is it for baseball this week. Thank y'all for tuning in. All the motorsports content will be out as well. Coke 600 wrap up, Nashville preview for NASCAR, and then Monaco review and Spain preview all in one episode for Formula One. But I'm Mike Farmer. That's been Keegan Miller, and this has been GTD. We'll catch y'all again next week.